What's good, YouTube? It's Real Jev. This is my first Black Ops 6 video of the year. Super excited to get into it. Today we're going to be discussing the Black Ops 6 permanent unlock system. It can be very overwhelming, lots of choices, especially because play styles differ between every player. Everyone's in a different skill bracket with the skill-based matchmaking. But I want to try to make this a little bit easier on you. We're going to be talking about the absolute best picks early, and then we're going to be talking about some good picks based on your playstyle and how you want to be playing the game throughout the prestige system. So with all that being said, let's hop straight into it. So this is going to be a top 5 list, but once we get to pick number 4 and 5, I'm going to kind of give you a couple choices because there is obviously 10 prestiges, so to just give you 5 choices is not exactly ideal. But we're going to start off this list with the top 3 being what I think are the most important things to use your permanent unlock on. I think these are undoubtedly going to give you the most value throughout your prestiges, especially because there is a lot of life cycle left on this game. Warzone hasn't even dropped. Season 1 hasn't even dropped. I'm sure some of you have maybe just now hit your first prestige, second prestige. Some of you crazy folks probably maybe already 6th, 7th prestige. I am on prestige 3. I'm getting very close to prestige 4. Might be a little bit further up, but I missed double XP weekend, or at least the majority of it. But with all that being said, number 1 on this list has to be Perk Greed. Undoubtedly the best selection in the game at level 54. I mean, Perk Greed just opens up an avenue for so many options for your builds and for your loadouts. Being able to run specialist tiers a little bit earlier into your leveling because you have more options for perks with that 4th spot, super monumental. You can obviously argue that Perk Greed, maybe you feel like the value is not exactly there because you still have to unlock some of the perks again. So what makes Perk Greed so valuable is obviously having a 4th perk is amazing, but it also gives you so many options of being able to use your perks in a way to get your specialist easier. Recon just got nerfed again. I think it's now down to 0.5 seconds on the Recon. So Recon's not as valuable as it once was. But the specialist tiers are still very nice. I actually personally think that the specialist tier, the green one, the green perks, is the best setup. So once you get Perk Greed, you can start running 3 green specialist perks and then also have something like Bankroll and just fly through your streaks. Super easy, pop your UAV, counter UAV, and then that'll string into your 3rd score streak really, really easy. But Perk Greed, there's so many options. I mean, you can run 3 blues and a red. You can run, I mean, whatever you want. Especially Perk Greed is so valuable because the Perk 1 spot has so many options that are so good. I mean, you've got Ghost, Tac Mask, Ninja, Flag Jacket. You're probably going to want to run at least 2 of those 90% of the time. So having Perk Greed, you're going to need it anyways. Obviously, whenever you first unlock Perk Greed at level 1, obviously whenever you unlock Perk Greed, you're going to still have to level up a little bit to unlock some perks. But this also kind of snowballs into your other prestiges because once you start using your permanent unlock tokens on more perks, now you can run your specialist basically the second you prestige and you're off rolling immediately, not having to wait till level 30, 40 to be running a nice meta perk setup. So with that being said, I think that the obvious choice for your first permanent unlock token is definitely Perk Greed. All right, number 2 might be a little contradictory just because we don't know the life cycle of this game and what exactly will come out in the store as far as weapon blueprints go. But with that being said, I think number 2 is still, for me, it has to be the Asvel. It is unlocked at level 55, so you're basically never going to get to use this gun for more than like, I mean, maybe an hour or 2 at most, because most people, once you get to level 55, you're probably prestiging the second you get there, and I think that is probably the best course of action. So the Asvel, unlocking it permanently basically gives you access to the gun that usually is unlocked at the last level, I mean at the first level. So you get one of the best guns in the game, you can get it gold, you don't have to worry about unlocking it later into your prestiges. I think the Asvel, even with its recent nerfs, still probably a top, I want to say top 3, top 5 gun in the game. It's very, very good. Love using it. It was one of my first guns I got gold in the game. But of course, this may come back to bite me down the road because who knows, maybe a weapon blueprint comes out for the Asvel Season 1 and now you can get this gun permanently for $10. You know, I mean, we don't know exactly yet. But with the information that we have right now, I still think the number 2 spot has to be the Asvel because level 1 through 40 is the same amount of experience and time as level 41 through 55. So you're going to be spending a ton of time between level 41 and 55. So I really think you should get this gun as early as possible just because you're not going to have it for probably 90%, maybe more, 95, 99% of your time in the game if you don't permanently unlock it. All right, number 3, even with the recent nerf to flashbangs and stuns, Tac Mask still has to be the number 3 spot. And honestly, you could even argue this should be number 2. If you play a ton of 10v10, if you play Domination, Hardpoint, there is a ton of flashbangs and stun grenade spam. So even with the nerf, I mean, it's 0.5 seconds taken off these stuns. It doesn't really matter because you get hit with one flashbang and then another and a stun grenade, and your screen's just white for, I mean, 30 seconds straight. I mean, you don't get to play the game. Put your controller down, go make a sandwich. I mean, you don't get to play the game. So I think Tac Mask has to be the next permanent unlock. You could even swap this with the Asvel. Honestly, it's that important to the game's life cycle. I just feel like Tac Mask is such a useful perk. It's also in that perk 1 spot. So use your perk greed first, then get Tac Mask, and now you've got a great setup very early. You don't have to worry about the spams from the stuns and the flashbangs. The reason I didn't use my second permanent unlock on the Tac Mask is because I wasn't sure if it worked very well, but after using it quite a bit, I can promise you it makes a huge difference. I mean, it cuts out probably 90%, 80% of the time spent where you're stunned or flashbang. Very useful perk. Again, like I said, perk 1 spot, so it's in a very competitive perk spot that you're going to need to have eventually anyways. So definitely get Tac Mask. It doesn't have to be second or third, but make sure you get it as early as possible, because I promise you it will make your gameplay experience much more fun and much more enjoyable, being able to actually see your game and not have to put the controller down. So definitely number 3, Tac Mask. So number 4 and number 5 are very much interchangeable, so I'm actually going to give you both of them at the exact same time, because you can kind of unlock these in the order that you care about more. But 4 and 5 is going to be Ninja and the Stim Shot. Ninja is unlocked at level 35, and the Stim is unlocked at level 30. So Ninja, just period point blank, is probably the best perk in the game. And being able to just remove your footsteps and be able to hear other people's footsteps easier is always going to be such a valuable thing in the game. It actually makes it where you can kind of move around the map, flank people, and then not know exactly where you are because your big old boots are clanking around on metal floors or whatever it may be. And then for the Stim, I know I'm probably really biased on the Stim Shot, but if you want to play aggressive at all, you need to have the Stim Shot. In level 30, maybe a little bit low, but I don't care. It makes the game 90% more fun if you're an aggressive playstyle player. If you're not, maybe don't worry about it. But for the people that like to run and gun, use SMGs, or just want to be kind of moving around the map, playing really aggressively, you've got to have the Stim Shot. The amount of times I've died because I didn't have the Stim compared to the times that whenever I do have it, like being able to pop off double kills, triple kills, it's just, I mean, it's night and day difference. The Stim helps you to kill one person, get your health back, push a second, and sometimes even pop off the third. I mean, the Stim just has so much value, and you have to have it if you want to be aggressive in this game. There's just, the time to kill is kind of an awkward spot for being able to get doubles and triples easily. If you're a hardcore player, obviously this doesn't apply to you, but I've just found that I need the Stim to consistently, at least in my lobbies, pop off the doubles, triples, and be able to keep my lives and my streaks going, because I actually get my health and my sprint back. So the Stim, very useful. We kind of already talked about Ninja, but I want to just add one more point to Ninja. I mean, again, the biggest benefit of it is just not being able to hear your own footsteps. That kind of just clouds everything else in the game. Being able to hear gunshots, hear the enemy's footsteps. I mean, even be able to just hear like streaks and stuff, you'd be surprised. Just taking away that extra noise from your ears just helps a ton. So those are very much interchangeable. Use them how you would like. And then I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple honorable mentions. Like I said, there is 10 permanent unlocks. I didn't want to give you 10 specific things, though, just because it is very much subjective. It depends on your playstyle and how you want to play. But I feel like those are the most important 5 permanent unlocks first. All right, so honorable mention number 1 and 2 are going to be the Harp and the Dreadnought. I don't remember the exact level that the Harp is unlocked. I want to say it's around level 42, 43-ish. If you haven't played COD before, this is your first year, I'm sure you've seen the UAV, which is basically just a red dot for your enemies. The Harp is an advanced UAV if you have played COD before. Basically, your enemies are going to be on the minimap in real time. And not only are they not going to be a red dot, but they're now going to be a red triangle, so you know the exact direction that they're facing all the time. It's not like a sweep. The UAV gives you little like updates here and there where the enemies are. The harp is real-time updates of exactly where the enemy's at and which direction they're looking. So you can pre-fire people, you can come around the corner and know exactly where they are. The harp is probably the best score streak in the game if you want to try to go on long streaks. You know, you want to go for nukes, 25 streaks, 35 streaks, whatever it may be. The harp is by far the best streak in the game for that. Also, I may not be correct in this, but I think the harp this year lasts longer than it has in previous CODs. I feel like the harp or the advanced UAVs before used to last like a minute, minute and a half. I swear this thing lasts 2 to 3 minutes now. It feels like it's in the sky forever. It's also really easy to shoot down. I don't know why more people don't shoot it down, but they don't. So because of that, it makes it even better because you just got an advanced UAV for 2 to 3 minutes where you know exactly where enemies are going to be at. Super valuable. Probably my favorite score streak in the entire game. Obviously, it's a little bit boring, but it does just help you get more kills with your gun. Obviously, that's why I also put the Dreadnought here, though. The Dreadnought is unlocked very late into your prestige system, level 54. This is the gunship, or the AC-130 from old CODs. I actually haven't used this personally myself. I don't really care to go for the streaks that I'm having to be away from my player for long. I know it's really, really good, though, and some of you may like that. Gunship is probably the best streak in the game. In fact, it is the best streak. There's no debate about it. Super good. I mean, you can just spawn kill people over and over. Giant guns blasting down on people. Takes a ton of missiles and bullets to shoot it down. By far the best streak in the game. And it being level 54 also makes it a perfect candidate to use your permanent unlock token on, because you're not going to have this for, again, 90-95% of your playtime in the game. So definitely unlock this if you want to be a person going for high streaks. Obviously, don't unlock this if you feel like you struggle to get to your 5, 6, 7 kill streaks. It's not going to be very obtainable for you. Very hard streak to earn. Even me, I'm a pretty well-skilled player in this game, and I would have to really try to like actually get my Dreadnoughts. I would have to be completely locked in playing a certain way. It is not an easy streak to earn, but a ton of fun to use. And then for one last honorable mention, we're going to throw in Cold-Blooded here, because Cold-Blooded is so valuable. First of all, it makes it where AI controlled kill streaks will never target you, so you will never die to a Watchdog helo, a sentry gun, whatever else. I can't remember all the other streaks in this game that are AI controlled. But yeah, you are going to be completely undetectable to that. I don't know if thermals are very popular in this game yet. I actually haven't even seen one, so I don't know how consistently they're going to be used. But it also makes you untrackable from thermals. You won't pop up with a white vision on their scopes. I think there's one more thing I'm leaving off of Cold-Blooded that it helps you with. I actually can't remember at this exact moment. If I find it, I'll put it up on the screen if I am forgetting something. But yeah, Cold-Blooded, very good perk. It's a level 41 unlock, so it's very, very valuable to your leveling system because it's a little bit later into the prestiges. And with that, we're going to conclude the list. I know this is only, I think, 7 or 8 things, but again, that's most of your prestiges. I feel like once you get past the first 4 or 5 prestiges, everything from that point on is kind of just opinion based. Depends on your play style, what you care about. The first 3 or 4 on this list, I think, are must-haves early into your prestiges. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more Black Ops 6 content coming very soon. Have a great rest of your day. It's Real Jev, and I'm out.